Wow, that's big. Give you an idea. The ramp to the LRT station. In fact, the entire LRT station at Stampede is gone. There's a little makeshift platform way over there, but does this ever look different? I came through here with my friend Pete a little over a year ago, and we walked down that ramp and I saw that video clip. I'm not sure what's going on here today, but quite a few people. Looks like something's happening in the Big 4 building. I think this is slated to open sometime in about a year from now. Pretty cool. And this is, of course, the entrance to the Stampede grounds. Under construction. But just those panels that are going to go up there, it is a big structure. You can just get an idea of how the scope of this just by looking at those men on that boom lift. How tiny they are. And this is one side. I think it's a 3-sided or 4-sided? 4-sided, I believe. So many changes here in this part of the city. And here we are from this angle. And as a matter of fact, I was here about 3 months ago making a short video clip. It's progressed quite a bit since then. Wow. Pretty darn cool. In the old dome. Horrible acoustics in that building for a concert, given the shape. It's shaped like a saddle, like a horse's saddle. And there's Scotsman's Hill. On the other side of that is the district of Ramsey, where I lived for many years. And that's the Big 4 building way over there. It's one of the older structures on the grounds. Named after the 4 guys that founded this, I guess, the Stampede. I forget their names. And this is the old agriculture building. Back in the day, they used to have, they call it the Victoria Pavilion now. Back in the day, they had Stampede wrestling in there with the Hart family and all those guys. Of course, Bret Hart went on to the WWE or WWF or whatever they call that. And I think it was, I forget, Vince McMahon, I think that's his name, the American guy that bought Stampede Wrestling and incorporated that into his American WWE, WWF. So it all started here with the Hart family. Stu Hart being the father, and his wrestling career goes back to the 1930s, 40s. Funny Saturday afternoon. I didn't plan on walking over here, but here I am. Some guys up there on a boom lift. What a cool structure. Can't wait to see it complete. Like there's some artist renderings here of what it's going to look like. That would sure be fun to ski down that. Cool. Ooh, you can actually make out part of downtown from here. There's the Calgary Tower. barely visible from most views across the city. It's kind of dwarfed by many buildings nowadays. Huh. Cool. So here's the entrance to the Stampede grounds. And this structure is going to tie in with the old convention center, which is called the Roundup Center, which is just back here behind the hoarding. So here's from the other side. I guess this is the west side. That's the west side there. So this is the Roundup Center, the older convention center. Now everything from that point over was built in the last 15-20 years. The old kitchen, well, I guess it's old, but when I worked here back in the day, it was new. I worked here as an event coordinator part-time, evening shifts and that kind of thing back in the early 2000s. And the kitchen is just where those little windows are right there. The multi-million-dollar kitchen. I think at that time it was $1 million kitchen. But it was so big, and they only used it really the entire thing. So much equipment and combination ovens, and it was just massive. It's the size of a school gymnasium. But it didn't get used frequently enough, and most of the chefs that worked here for the smaller events would prefer to work out of the commissary, which is right here, the smaller building. Yeah. And I just went for a walk in there, and I saw a couple of staff that I actually hired that are still working here almost 25 years later. So that's pretty cool, as long as they're being treated fairly. Now I've made my full loop around the new convention center.